Hi everybody. Just wanted to show you how to use EdPuzzle and just give you a video walkthrough in case you just wanted to see how it's done. So basically, I'm about to make an EdPuzzle on the Korean War using a video that I just found on YouTube. So I liked this one from PragerU. So I'm going to have my students watch this, but I wanted to make sure that they're answering a few questions so that they're really thinking about it and that they're retaining some of the key information from this. I'm going to be using this as kind of like a front-loading tool before we really dive into the Korean War too much. So it's just kind of to give students an overview. This video is about 5 minutes long, which is perfect because I don't like videos to be too long if I'm using them in EdPuzzle. About 10 minutes is the maximum. So what you'd want to do is you go to edpuzzle.com and then you're going to go ahead and select sign up or log in. Log in, if you don't have an account, you'll sign up and you'll sign up with Google. So each time that I go to log in, I just click Google. And then here are my Google accounts if I'm already logged into my Drive and all that stuff on the computer, which I am. So I'll click on my school one. And so here is my information. Here's my account. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do, because I'm going to show this video to you guys as well so you can see it as an example after I'm done, is I'm going to go ahead and import this class, EdPuzzle Training, which I've already created in Google Classroom. I'm going to go ahead and import it in here. And there it is. Right now it has 0 students in it, which is fine. So basically, now I've got my classroom all ready to go. Now I'm going to go to search. And since I know what I already want to use because I searched it on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on YouTube. However, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can search with. You can just search EdPuzzles that are already made, that already have questions that other teachers have potentially written for them. You can search YouTube, you can search Khan Academy, and so on. There's a lot of great videos that are already in here for you. But since I know what I want, I'm going to click on YouTube, and then I've already gone ahead. Let me make sure I've got it. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to paste the URL in right here. And then here is my video. Now, it has a couple of fun tools that you can use. One is the crop tool that's right here. And so I've watched my video all the way through, and I'm going to keep all of it, even the little bit that talks about Prager University at the very end, because I feel like they should get credit since they're the original creators of it. But you're able to use this tool to crop out certain parts. If you want to move it and you want to say, okay, well, I don't want my video to be this long, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, no, I actually
today, and most people will look at you with a blank stare. At the time it was fought,
want to make it a little bit shorter than this. Okay, so you can use the crop tool for that. And then you can also record an audio track at the very beginning of making your EdPuzzle, which I'm actually going to do. And I've gone ahead and I've previewed my video beforehand, and I've thought about what questions I want and where exactly they're going to go on the continuum. And so first I'm going to do a little audio note. Okay, if you use this tool, audio track, that's going to be throughout the entire video, apparently. So I have not used this feature. This is the one that I prefer, just to give students a little note at some point during a video to clue them in on something that's important. So I'll go ahead and record that now. The speaker in this video presents a particular point of view on the Korean War. What is his point of view, and what exactly gives it away? As you watch, consider what the alternate point of view on this topic might be. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that. And now I'm going to go back into question mode, where I can go ahead and write questions for things. Now,
mention the Korean War today.
Let's see. I've gone ahead and I've decided where my questions are going to be.
At the time it was fought, just 5 years after World War II.
So I should be able to move this along. Okay, so see, there we go. So now I can move this to wherever I want it to be, and I've decided that my first one is going to be at 29 seconds. So I'm watching that counter over there on the side.
Within weeks, the communists had nearly a communist self.
And I'm going to let it hit 29. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my question. So my first question is going to go in here, and I'm going to say, what were the two opposing ideologies / forces in the Korean War? Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'll go ahead and continue.
That nearly absorbed the entire country.
And now,
my
next question is going to be at 156. So I'm going to go ahead and move this along to 156.
Before it was finally secured.
Okay. And now notice up here, you've got a couple of things you can do. You can write a standard question that's open-ended if you just want a general response. You want students to do some thinking on their own. You can do a multiple choice type question, which is kind of cool too. And then you select which answer is correct and which one is not. If you use this feature, and then you can add more distractors if you want as well. If you use this feature though, a tip that I would give you is don't have more than one correct answer, because students will get the entire thing wrong if they only get one of the correct answer choices, which is kind of a bummer. And then also, if you just want to give students a general note or some kind of a comment, but you don't want to put in the voice recorder, you can use this feature here, and that works really nicely too. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And for my second question, I'm going to say, what did American and UN forces do in response to the initial invasion from the north across the 38th parallel? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'll continue on.
In the years 1952 and 1953, the war grew static.
And now my next one that I want is going to be at 236. So I'm going to go ahead and move this along.
Over the next 60 years, a Cold War persisted between.
Okay, so pretty close.
And thus not dictated terms of surrender.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to say, okay. There's an awkward face on that guy. Here we go. What are some of the facts this speaker shares about the Korean War? I'll go ahead and save that. And I kind of like open-ended questions because it gives students a few different options of what they kind of retained from it. Although in EdPuzzle, what's really cool is students can scroll back and they can re-watch certain portions, which is kind of nice.
Is fighting the Korean War and restoring the South without uniting
Okay, and then my next question is going to be at 350, so I'm going to scrub this along.
In Western Europe.
Okay, and now I have, what are two reasons why this speaker thinks the Korean War was worth the effort? Because that is his viewpoint, right? He thinks it was worth the effort, and he's given a whole bunch of different reasons why, so I want students to be thinking about that.
Finally, the Korean War.
And then the last part, I'm going to go back to that note that I tried to insert at the very beginning, which I may have to redo, it looks like. We'll see once it's all done. Right at the very end, at 442.
Davis Hansen of the Hoover Institution for Prager University.
Okay, I'm going to say, what might an alternate point of view be? And what might be some of the reasons that would support a different viewpoint? And that's not the greatest question in the world. I'll probably go back and rewrite that one later. But anyway, okay.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here.
Great.
To help.
Okay, so now that I've got my questions installed here, I'm going to see if I'm allowed to add an audio note. I may or may not be able to since the computer is already using the microphone here. Let me see. Nope, doesn't like me to do that. Okay, doesn't want me to do that. All right, my Mac is very old and it's not happy with me. So let's go ahead and finish this up and I'll add that detail later. So I'm going to go ahead and click Finish up here. I'm going to assign it to a class, and for this purpose I'm going to go ahead and assign it to EdPuzzle Training. Now I can prevent skipping, which is kind of cool. It means that kids are not allowed to just scrub through the video and just get to the questions and hurry it up and whatever. I can also add a due date if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and say our training is on the 25th, or our PD date's on the 25th, so I'll add that in there if I want to. Okay, but I'm not going to today. And then I can go ahead and I can click Assign. Okay, now here's something that's important. If you're using Google Classroom with EdPuzzle, you will want to go ahead and post it to your class. And then it will ask me for my account. I'm going to go ahead and share it to that one. And then I get to choose which class I want to put it in. And I want to put it in EdPuzzle Training. I want to, for this I'm going to make an announcement so you don't have to watch this video on the Korean War if you don't want to. And then go. And then I can go ahead and say in my announcement, this is the actual text that'll pop up, the resulting video on the Korean War created with EdPuzzle. Okay? And so there's that, and I'm going to go ahead and post it on in there. And that's how you create an EdPuzzle for your class. Now there's one other feature that I want to show you guys before we go. Now, once you've assigned it to a class and students have gone ahead and they've gone in and done it, you'll be able to see how many have completed it, what percentage. You'll also get to see a grade book, and you can see what members are in your class. You can always update and import more students if you need to. I used EdPuzzle before with my world history class. I made a few mistakes because I wrote those questions that had multiple correct answers, and so students got a little frustrated with me. But I made one on an overview of the Middle Ages using a video from Khan Academy. You can see that 85% of them completed it. And then I can take a look at their progress as to who watched this thing, who went ahead and finished it, and then what were their scores. So you can see that some students scored really well and then other students not as well. And what's also interesting is you're able to watch while they're watching the video. You're able to see how many times they're rewatching something, which is pretty cool too. All right, so there's lots of awesome features in EdPuzzle that are definitely worth a look, and I hope that you guys enjoy this tool.